The group Kansans for Freedom represents the people who voted no on the Value Them Both amendment.
As we come back across the state line to Kansas, supporters gathered in Overland Park, and that's where Fox 4's Malik Jackson has been tonight, and they are celebrating there. Malik.
Yeah, John and Lauren, at 9, I told you the mood in the room was cautiously optimistic. Now that mood has turned to victorious. When they heard the call, the final call that the votes for no had came out on top, there was crying, there was hugs. It was a very emotional scene in this room. And the thing that they keep turning back to and talking about is turnout, turnout, turnout. We saw more than nearly 50,000, absentee ballots for unaffiliated voters turned in. That's in early voting. So that's all early voting that came in before the polls even opened today. Representative Sharice Davis says that this is not a message just for Kansas, but this is a message that they've sent to the world. And the words are that in her words, politicians don't belong in a women's reproductive choice. The overarching message we've heard tonight from organizers to elected leaders and everyday Kansans is that they are proud the movement that they say really picked up most of its steam after the Supreme Court's decision in June, that they were able to reach the milestone, the point that they wanted to reach. And so as the results still come in, it is clear now that the vote no's have won. And now I want to turn you to Ashley Hall, she's of the Kansas of Constitutional Freedom, and she says their movement has proven that people that live in this state have more in common than some would like to think they do.
People across the political spectrum have a lot more in common than politicians want them to believe. And I think that that is the struggle right now in our state and in our country.
Kansas being the first state to allow voters to go to the ballot since the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade in late June. And the voters in Kansas have certainly spoken, putting the no's at the top. Again, when this decision was heard, it was a very emotional room. And everybody in here is pointing to the turnout, the grassroots movement that allowed them to come out on top tonight on this side of the state line in Kansas as the constitutional amendment is voted down. John, Lauren.
Malik Jackson, thank you, Malik, in Overland Park.